Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Here's what's happening. A local pharmacy says today is their last day of business. Plus, we tell you about a bill that aims to clean up a nuclear waste site in Cattaraugus County. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is live with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and happy Wednesday, everybody. Almost halfway through the week. This is a camera we don't show too often. This is the camera on top of One Seneca Tower in downtown Buffalo. Wanted to show this because notice the snow that's moving in. This is where that lake effect snow band is now. It's basically impacting the Buffalo metro area, but it will be sagging southward through the day. We've seen the camera go to almost complete white as the winds. You see, there it is right there. You can see that snow burst as the snow is coming in. Here it is on First Defense Doppler. This is that lake band. Notice how it's coming straight off the lake, impacting the Buffalo metro area. This is going to lead to some nasty driving conditions. Obviously, if you drive through this, there could be some limited blowing snow and some heavier snow within this, but this will be sagging southward throughout the day today and especially tonight. Winter weather advisories remain in place for much of the southern tier. That's all the counties shaded in purple. There's also now one for Warren County, PA. And interestingly, we now have a lake effect snow warning for southern Erie County, Pennsylvania, issued by the Weather Service in Cleveland. Again, we told you about this earlier in the year, how this is essentially back once again. So this is the first this is the first lake effect snow warning we've had in our region for the past couple of years, because that is now back, and that goes until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, as does, of course, all the advisories. So hour by hour through the day today, temperatures lower to mid 30s through the day. Temperatures not moving much, and that snow band will be sagging north to south, and we'll talk about accumulations in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota, looking forward to it. Thank you. Our top story, a local pharmacy will close its doors at the end of business today. Officials with Frewsburg Pharmacy say all current customers' prescriptions will automatically be transferred to the Walgreens in Jamestown. Now, when asked why the location was closing, the clerk told us a number of reasons, but would not specify. The pharmacy's owner, Greg Nelson, was unavailable for comment. Now, last year, the pharmacy celebrated 15 years in business. Previously, the drugstore's sister location in Westfield closed on November 7th. The pharmacy is open until today at 6 p.m. Well, a bill that aims to clean up a nuclear waste site in Cattaraugus County is headed to the president's desk. Congressman Tom Reed says the bill to authorize $75 million a year for the West Valley Demonstration Project through 2026 to secure and remove nuclear waste from the site passed in the Senate.
If you've been to the facility over the years like we have, you've seen the structures coming down, the waste being vitrified and put into the canisters, now stored in a safe, secure manner. And this is going to give that credibility and certainty to the project that potentially people were raising in D.C., saying, this was not an authorized program. This was not something Congress had approved. There was been money coming through the pipeline to support the project, but Congress itself had not authorized the spending of it.
Now, the bill to authorize West Valley funding previously passed in the House in March. Well, after months of pressure to step down, Bishop Richard Malone of Buffalo finally has. Malone has been under intense criticism for the handling of sexual abuse in the Buffalo Catholic Church. Now, in his statement, Malone hoped a new bishop could bring about reconciliation and healing. Normally, a bishop retires when he reaches age 75, but Bishop Malone is 73. According to the Buffalo News, both the FBI and New York Attorney General are investigating clergy abuse and cover-ups in the Buffalo Diocese. Malone kept a secret binder full of names and accused priests in a closet in his office. Now, many of those names were withheld when Malone issued a list of credible accused priests, a whistleblower reported last year. But a spokesperson for the diocese says the list is only include priests accused of abusing minors, not those of misconduct with adults. Well, it's that time of year when checking our weight on the scale is out of sight and out of mind. A new report finds that 40% of Americans are content with the number of their scales, but we're heavier this decade than we were in previous ones. Steve Nannis explains more in today's Health Minute.
Do you weigh more than you did 10 years ago? You're not alone. According to a new report, Americans self-reported they weigh more this decade than they did last decade. But fewer adults say they want to lose weight. That's according to a just-released Gallup poll. It found 28% of surveyed Americans weighed 200 pounds or more between 2010 and 2019. That's a 4-point jump from the previous decade. The Gallup poll points out the increase happened at the same time new fad diets promising quick results gained popularity. However, fewer Americans now consider themselves overweight or obese. According to the report, almost 40% of surveyed men and women are content with their current weight. One way to look at the shift, it may reflect changing attitudes towards weight and body image. But experts say those heavier numbers on the scale are not good for one's health. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, a weight of 200 pounds can be considered overweight or even obese for the majority of Americans who are shorter than 6 feet 4 inches. The CDC says excessive weight gain is tied to several leading causes of death, like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some cancers. Experts recommend you eat healthier foods that have fewer calories instead of sacrificing food completely. For today's Health Minute, I'm Steve Nannis.
All right, Steve, thank you. Now, in the United States, obesity is considered an epidemic. More than 70% of American adults are overweight or obese. That's according to a recent National Health and Nutrition Examination survey. Well, a national program to provide preventative drugs to uninsured Americans at risk of HIV was announced on Tuesday. Now, the program is called Ready, Set, Prep. To qualify, participants must test negative for HIV, have a valid prescription for the medication, and not have any prescription drug coverage. Now, the drugs will be donated by Gilead Sciences, makers of the only 2 medications currently approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Now, that company will donate over 2 million bottles annually, enough to treat 200,000 Americans for the next 11 years. Now, President Trump set the goal to end the HIV epidemic in his February State of the Union speech. Now, in May, he announced the agreement with the company. The initiative aims to reduce new HIV infections by 75% in the next 5 years. By the end of the decade, the goal is to reduce new infections by 90%. Well, hopefully everybody is having a great Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News. Now, let's check in with the comments. Got to say hello to Joseph. Hopefully you are doing well. Got to say hello to Wendy. Happy hump day to you. Thanks so much for being here on the broadcast. Hello to Pam and Justin. Great to see both of you. Hello to Joseph as well. Hopefully you're having a good day. And hello to Karen. Haven't seen you on the broadcast in a while, but we appreciate you tuning in here on Facebook Live. Certainly, yeah, HIV is one of the probably bigger issues in the country, although recently it seems like those numbers have been going down. So certainly a great initiative there on the federal level to help some people. Wanted to also chime in a little bit about our top story there with the pharmacy in Frewsburg that we talked about a moment ago. Frewsburg Pharmacy closing at the end of business today. Certainly a very sad announcement from them. Just to let everyone know, it seems like this is the last pharmacy there in Frewsburg, one of the only ones in that area. And as we mentioned in the report, prescriptions at that pharmacy are now being transferred to Walgreens, and that is automatic. We haven't been able to speak to the pharmacy's owner. If we do get in touch with them, we will let you know. Well, straight ahead, more local news and how you can help this year's Toys for Tots initiative here in Chautauqua County. A spokesperson joins us live next for an interview. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look downtown. HD News Now cam. No sun in sight, but at least it's not snowing right now. 31 currently at the airport north of the city. There's that wind gust of 23, and the temperatures are not moving, but snow will be coming our way. We'll break it all down. News Now continues in a minute. Don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Join us for Jamestown's biggest parade.
And ring in the holiday season.
Watch the Jamestown Christmas Parade and holiday celebration right here on WNY News Now's 24/7 streaming network and Facebook Live.
See some of the city's biggest floats and the jolly man himself, Santa Claus.
Plus the annual tree lighting and this year's spectacular fireworks display.
Festivities are presented by the Resource Center.
You can catch it all right here Friday, December 6th at 6:30.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Happening now, the local Toys for Tots group in Chautauqua County is gearing up for the holiday season. Patrick Smeralda, one of the 3 coordinators for the program, joins us live in studio now to talk about this year's initiative. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's great to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us. This is the way we're going to get it out. It's with good folks like yourself.
So I guess for people who maybe don't know who Toys for Tots is, it seems like though through public awareness campaigns, you guys have done a great job. Can you explain to us what the program does?
Sure. Well, the overall, the National Toys for Tots program was started in 1947 by a Major Hendricks, who was a Marine reservist in Los Angeles. Basically, his wife had created some toy dolls for him to take to an organization to donate, and he couldn't find one. So, laughingly enough, she told him, "You better find one." So he, along with his Marine reservists in 1947, created the Toys for Tots program, and they distributed 5,000 toys, and that's how it actually took off. The program itself has been in Chautauqua County for 19 years, run by 2 ladies that have done it many, many years before I came along, Heather Brown and Terry Johnson. It partners with the Resource Center here in Chautauqua County. And the 3 of us act as leads for the program here in the county in collection, distribution, and partnering with all the businesses.
And I know before the broadcast we talked about that collection network. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of local businesses where I think people say they're shopping around, getting their kids' toys. They see these boxes that say Toys for Tots, please donate. But coming up this week, there's a new way that people can get involved and donate at the Jamestown Christmas Parade.
Absolutely, and it's a true. We always talk about in Jamestown and Chautauqua County about collaborating with each other, businesses, agencies. This is one of the truest collaborations I've ever seen with over 8 agencies. Obviously, the Jamestown Renaissance Corp doing Zach Agate and those guys doing their part with the parade. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a float. We'll be probably 1 or 2 in the lineup. Toys for Tots float, and the collaboration consists of the Resource Center, the Chautauqua Connections Children's Coalition, Lakeshore Paving, which is donating the equipment for the float, the Jamestown Police Department, the Jamestown Fire Department, the Jamestown High School cross-country team, and our friends at Tim Hortons. And basically what we're doing is we're going to have a bunch of people with the float and on the float as it travels through the city. And children will be on the float. There will be adults around, surrounding the float. And we're asking everyone to bring a new toy to the parade, just in a bag or what have you. You'll wave down one of the volunteers that's walking alongside the float. They'll walk up to you, and they'll take your donation. In the meantime, when they're doing that, they'll hand you a free gift certificate for a free coffee or hot chocolate from our friends at Tim Hortons, the Tarana family. So you'll receive a certificate you could trade in. That's phenomenal. That's a many hundreds of dollar donation by them. We'll collect the toys. We'll continue through the city. And there's actually a stable point on Spring and 3rd right next to Tracy Plaza, where there'll be a roped-off area. There'll be a Jamestown police cruiser manned by firemen and policemen, where you can actually walk up and hand your donation also. And receive the same coupon for the hot chocolate. Yeah, absolutely. And then as the parade gets to the end, we'll unload the float. The float will be able to go back to its garage, and we'll keep collecting toys until Mayor Teresi lights the tree and does the fireworks, and we'll be there for the celebration. Really want to just have a total community effort throughout this. Yeah,
it's really amazing, and certainly the thousands of people that are going to turn out to the Jamestown Christmas Parade. I imagine having this initiative where you're almost coming to them in a sense, where they could have a toy and just hand it off to you and your group. For the requirements for the toy, obviously, I would imagine you'd want something that's probably store-bought in a box.
Just something new that, and we'd ask that it isn't wrapped in Christmas present, even though that's very nice, but we can't hand it out that way with the agencies and the people. So we have to have a new toy, but where you could be able to see the packaging and whatever from the store. So, it's very simple. We have 130 boxes out throughout the county, over 130 boxes throughout countywide, and businesses and all over in offices, and people are really great about having office parties and stuff. So our collection efforts are great, but how do you pass up an opportunity with 5,000 people coming to a parade?
Right. And we were talking about too, like the connectivity of the downtown area and of the city of Jamestown. It seems like everybody comes out to the Jamestown Christmas Parade and, kind of the official start of the Christmas season. And I know this year it seems like the calendar itself is a little more squished.
Yes.
With that type of deadline, does that sort of, light the fire a little bit to try to get more donations up until Christmas? Or is that not something you guys are really worried about?
No. We're always worried. Last year, so in 2017, we did individual distribution to families. Through another collaboration I work with, the Chautauqua Connections Children's Coalition, we started handing out toys through agencies. So from 2017 to 2018, we went from 2,600 children to 3,200. And actually last year, because we increased, we had a huge shortfall right around December 15th that we had to take care of. And the community was phenomenal. They all came out. We had it in the paper and advertised it with you guys, and everybody came out to help us. And Thanksgiving was a week late this year. You're correct. So, there was only like 3 weeks of a push to really make sure we buckle down and get our donations. Our county is the best when it comes to this stuff. I don't care what anybody says. I travel. I've been all through the country and what have you. Jamestown and Chautauqua County, but Jamestown especially, the policemen, the firemen working together with, human service agencies. The children are involved from the high school. Is there a bigger, better business in the area than Tim Hortons? They
it seems
pony
like
up.
everybody goes to Tim Hortons.
Absolutely. Everyone who is someone in Chautauqua County is partnered up. You have the Resource Center, second largest employer in Chautauqua County. You have all these people coming together for the kids. We may have differences every once in a while. That's funny. I've joked with everybody when we've come along. I'm like, look, we have differences with each other once in a while, but let's set them aside right now. Let's really provide for the children of our community. And, there's another time for that other stuff. So, and it truly has. I cannot tell you with the policeman, the fireman, Officer Jackson, Officer Schilling, Fireman Schilling from the police department, and just the amount, Lakeshore Paving, donating a vehicle.
Right.
And I just said, well, I need to get a driver. And the foreman, Denny, no, I got it taken care of. I'll meet you where you need to be. I'm like, okay,
amazing,
great, even better,
yeah. Another testament to our wonderful.
It is. It's awesome. It really is. We're really making a turn here in Jamestown, and there's some big things coming after the first year. And this is what we should be doing in Chautauqua County. We can have differences with each other. We can do those things. But when it comes down to it, nothing's going to get accomplished unless we work together, and that's what's going on now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, final question: where can people get in touch with you if they want to try to help after the event on Friday?
We have a very active website, Chautauqua County Toys for Tots, and where we do a lot of work on Facebook, where they can access applications. You may know of someone that's in need this year. You can contact us through Facebook, direct message. It'll come to one of the three of us, and we jump right on it. Your agencies, if people are working with, Jamestown Community Learning Council or Chautauqua Opportunities or one of those agencies, and they have a direct care worker, they can help through there. The agencies get a hold of us. But social media is our biggest, and we've talked about that, and your biggest outlet. that's the way the news gets out to the people, and it's a phenomenal, reaction.
Yeah, absolutely. And we thank you so much for spending
you.
time with us this afternoon.
It
and being
doesn't
here.
work without you guys and getting the word out. That's all I can say. I say that for every media agency gets the word out about us. This doesn't work without you guys. So thank you very much.
We appreciate you coming in and
you.
helping spread that message
Appreciate
as well.
that.
And again, so it's Chautauqua County Toys for Tots.
Yep, Chautauqua County Toys for Tots. If you go to Facebook, everybody has Facebook. You can search that. Same thing with a website, and it'll take you right to the site. Applications, way to donate, way to volunteer. You can message us. Hey, I have a softball team that wants to volunteer. What can I do for you?
Right.
What have you? So
Yeah, absolutely. So
Thank you.
we'll look for that. Search Chautauqua County Toys for Tots here on Facebook. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I
for being
appreciate it.
here.
Thank you.
On the show coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's back with a look at our weather forecast. And a little later on in the program, we'll tell you about a tasty holiday that's coming our way. Stay with us when WNY News Now continues. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of hot foods, a large variety of premier headgear, and smoking accessories to fit any style. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today. Join us for Jamestown's biggest parade.
And ring in the holiday season.
Watch the Jamestown Christmas Parade and Holiday Celebration right here on WNY News Now's 24/7 streaming network and Facebook Live.
See some of the city's biggest floats and the jolly man himself, Santa Claus.
Plus the annual tree lighting and this year's spectacular fireworks display.
Festivities are presented by the Resource Center.
You can catch it all right here, Friday, December 6th at 6:30.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Toys for Tots, it's a magnificent program. I got Toys for Tots when I was a kid. 31 over 29 was the high and low yesterday. Temperatures did not dip off very much. Again, we didn't dip off a whole lot with the low temperature. Look at the record low for today. A goose egg that was set back in 1976. That is safe for another year. It's not that cold, and we don't see any signs of that kind of cold coming for at least a while. Again, 29 was a low this morning, 35 Dunkirk, 35 also over in Erie, 27 in Olean, 28 in Bradford. So temperatures not too far off in range. Rochester actually yesterday dipped off to 12 degrees yesterday. That's because that's where all that snow has been. And of course, snow obviously helps to cool the temperatures down when you have clearing skies. All that snow will help release the heat. So here we go with the watches and warnings. Winter storm or winter weather advisories, Winter weather advisories will stay in place until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for the southern tier, 9 a.m. for Warren County, Pennsylvania. But peak down here, again, as I told you during the first weather segment, this is a lake effect snow warning for southern Erie County, Pennsylvania. Again, this is the first time in a couple of years we've seen a lake effect snow warning that is issued. I told you about this, I think, during the summer when it was announced that this came back. This was originally here, and then obviously the Weather Service got rid of it and they brought it back. So this is the first one we've seen so far in a couple of years, the first one so far this season. And I think we'll see a little bit more of that as we obviously go throughout the winter here. So First Defense Doppler right now, this is where that lake effect snow band is now impacting the Buffalo metro area, but it will be sagging its way down to the south throughout the day. You can see it coming straight off Lake Erie and coming right into the Buffalo metro area. It'll sag southward and it will stay to the south basically tonight and then last lasting through Friday. Here it is on Future Skin. You can see the model picks up on that southward jog. This is basically later this afternoon. The darker blue starts to indicate the heavier amounts of snowfall. And again, the band will just kind of meander north and north and south a little bit. So again, it won't be able to deposit a whole lot of snow because the band will be moving, but it will be staying mainly across the southern tier and obviously northwest PA. As we go into tomorrow, the lake effect snow will start to taper off later in the day, and then it will become mainly pockets of lake effect as we go into Friday, obviously for the parade as well. So snowfall totals, this goes all the way until the afternoon on Friday. We're still thinking a good 7 to 9 inches right on the hills where you see that pink right there. That's 7 to 9 inches of accumulation. I always tell you, focus on that lower number, not the highest number. Anything more than the highest number is a bonus. 3 to 6 lower elevations, 6 to 9 in the hills of Cat County, 2 to 4 once you work out to the east, and maybe 6 to 8 down here, basically near the state line. So again, this is not going to be record-breaking snow, but it will be probably enough to shovel it. And of course, always download the app. We keep you updated on the app all the time. Web weather is always up here. Again, we always keep you updated on the app, so download the app. Please and thank you. All right, Christmas parade is tomorrow. Here's where we're going here. Temperatures down into the upper 20s. There will be lake effect snow through the day, but it's going to be pockets. It's not going to be steady state. That's the good news. And we'll bring up the next 7 days of your life. 31 tomorrow, 32 on Friday. You can see that wind will continue throughout the remainder of the week. Most areas Saturday held down into the upper 20s, and then milder air Monday. Tuesday, temperature falls, and I think beyond Tuesday, temperatures will become more winter-like once again. Sports is next. Don't go away.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Hump Day, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In the field of high school sports, the Jamestown Red Raiders varsity boys and girls bowling teams and the freshman boys basketball team have games today. The Jamestown bowling teams will be hosting Chautauqua Lake, with the girls game at 3:30 and the boys at 5:30. Meanwhile, the freshman basketball team will be hosting Randolph this evening with a 6 o'clock tip-off. With the Basketball League Combine the Jamestown Jackals are taking part in just a few days away, there are now 2 possible time frames in which it will possibly take place. The TBL Combine will be on either Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. or Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will be taking place at the Factory D1 located in Indianapolis. Jackals training camp will begin next month. More information can be found on the Jamestown Jackals team website. With a 7:30 jump ball tonight, the 10-10 Brooklyn Nets will hit the road against the 5-16 Atlanta Hawks. Brooklyn is coming off of a loss in their last game, 109-106 on Sunday against the Miami Heat. Kyrie Irving will remain inactive for Brooklyn for the next 2 games at the minimum, as he is recuperating from a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, Atlanta won their last game 104-79 on Monday against the Golden State Warriors. The game will be televised on the Yes Network. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
Alrighty, Norm. Thank you very much. Well, preheat to 350 and enjoy. Why? Because today's National Cookie Day, so that's a reason enough to indulge in a fresh baked goodie. Now, there's no better time of the year to really bake up some love. Tis the season for giving, right? And the gift of a cookie is a perfect way to spread some cheer at work, school, or heck, everywhere in between. Cookies are one of the most popular desserts in America, by the way, but the word actually comes from the Dutch word little cake. That's interesting. You can mix up batches with a variety of flavors to share. Chocolate chip gingerbread and ice sugar cookies are popular as gifts this time of year. And share your favorite recipes online using the hashtag National Cookie Day. That looks pretty good, Dakota. Certainly, we always got to credit WNY News Now's official grandmother mascot.
Yep.
Grandma Rosie.
I was about to say, yeah. Grandma
With
Rose's
cookies.
cookies.
So
That's the goods.
Hopefully we could get some this afternoon for National Cookie Day. That would always be delicious nevertheless.
I mean, I actually knew in a way that, cookie actually derives from the word cake, because there was a great thing on, I want to say it was Password Plus. One of the words was cookie, and Betty White gave the clue cakelet.
Really?
And cakelet isn't an official word. It's coined.
Huh.
At least back it was in the 1970s. It wasn't an official word in the dictionary. Wow. So she blew it because she said cakelet when she wanted to say cake, so the word was disqualified. So I kind of knew from watching that.
You learned something from the Golden Girls.
No, that was actually from Password Plus.
Oh, a game show.
Yes, game show from the 1970s.
Okay. But Betty White was on there?
Yes, because actually her husband was Alan Ludden, and Alan Ludden was the host of Password since it obviously since it debuted in the late 1950s.
Pretty cool. Learn something new every day. Thank you, Dakota.
The news you can't use.
Got to say hello to Joe, hello to Jamie, TR. Thanks so much for being on the broadcast. Connie, Maddie, good to see you. Karen, hopefully you're all having a wonderful day. That's it for us. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. If you missed anything we talked about, don't worry. This show loops right here on Facebook Live and Facebook
On the Face Bag.
Watch. Gotta love it. We're back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Have a great day.